Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of Jupiter. Transiting Jupiter is in quincunx with natal Saturn. How transiting Jupiter will behave in quincunx with natal Saturn depends on the position of natal Saturn. This transit can be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect to your natal Saturn. But the basics are as follows. When Jupiter transits in quincunx with your natal Saturn, it will create dynamic tension and highlight the differences between your limitations and the expectations you have set for yourself. You will find yourself in a period where optimism and expansion seem at odds with practicality and discipline, and a certain degree of experimentation will be required to balance your unlimited potential and big dreams with realistic limitations. So it will likely feel like your life is out of balance in some way when you experience this quincunx, and you will need to adjust your life, especially with the people or circumstances that are causing you problems. This adjustment of your expectations and ambitions will reduce Jupiter's desire for growth, and conflict with Saturn's need for caution and realism. But it is precisely in this way that you will be able to find a balance between optimism and practicality. You will probably feel stressed because you have taken on too many responsibilities, or tired because you have offered too much of your time to others. However, because of Jupiter's influence, which brings a strong desire for growth, adventure, and new experiences, it will also encourage taking risks and exploring uncharted territories, nurturing an atmosphere of enthusiasm and grand visions. Such an attitude will bring opportunities for growth, if you carefully assess which opportunities are worth taking advantage of, and which may require more time or effort than you can currently give. Otherwise, you will feel limited in your responsibilities or adventures. In any case, it is important to find the balance that was disrupted during this transit, the balance between work and private life. This is important because you will play too much and overload yourself. So you will overdo it in one way, and then you will turn too much in another direction, trying to compensate. As we have already mentioned, the transiting quincunx of Jupiter to natal Saturn suggests that you need to align your ideas about responsibility and behavior so that they are better aligned with the current situation. Therefore, it is best to re-examine your long-term goals and aspirations and consider whether your current path is in line with your values and responsibilities. Jupiter and Saturn can generally work well together, but in such difficult aspects as the quincunx, there is a great deal of tension in which we know little. We feel restless, uncertain, and it is difficult to determine exactly what will need to change. Opposing energies try to coexist, and moments arise when aspirations seem to be stifled by obligations or when practical concerns dampen excitement about future possibilities. The tension ultimately leads to valuable lessons about discipline, patience, and the importance of a solid foundation for your aspirations. So try to be patient and spend time with yourself to get an idea of what parts of your life are hindering you and whether you need to cut them. Your limitations will prevent you from doing everything you want anyway. As you learn to face your limitations and define important boundaries in your life, the need to apply a certain amount of self-discipline will conflict with your desire to expand and do fun things. To get through this transit, find balance in your life. There are certain responsibilities that you need to take care of, but you also need to rest and have fun. You need to have fun and do things that you enjoy, but you must not neglect any real obligations. You also need to be very patient in your work to ensure that you make the right decisions. New jobs or opportunities to expand your horizons will arise. Be sure to take advantage of this time, because it is easy to sit back and do nothing. It is a good time to let go of the limitations that have held you back, but hold on to dreams that are based on not exaggerating and not idealizing. Manage expectations and be open to opportunities. This will transform this challenging aspect into one that promotes thoughtful growth and sustainable progress. So even though the walls between work and adventure are crumbling at the moment, you'll feel just enough of the lingering limitations and difficulties to feel like a rain cloud in the background, threatening to dampen your successes and optimism. In any case, be realistic about how much to do, because if you don't find a balance, you'll burn out. You'll overdo it, which will lead to disappointment and failure.